A bill that would allocate money for mass transit in Missouri is another one that's had trouble getting through the legislature. It failed Thursday, then came back Monday for a vote. Now it's pending in the Senate. In this week's commentary, Jason Rosenbaum takes a closer look at the bill.
Here's a simple multiple-choice question. Which gets more money from the state? Local mass transit programs or the virtual schools program? The answer to that simple question might surprise you and perhaps showcase a complicated problem. Under a preliminary state budget, local mass transit programs will receive a little more than $4 million. The virtual school program is set to nab roughly $4.8 million. Now, I didn't pick out those budget lines to pass judgment on a particular project or program. Rather, the comparison is meant to highlight the small investment the state of Missouri makes to local mass transit programs. In the wake of a failure to pass a sales tax increase last year, officials in St. Louis made fairly painful cuts to the city's Metro program. So, policymakers saw an avalanche of federal stimulus dollars as an opportunity. One proposal called for a temporary infusion of stimulus cash to assist Metro for the coming year. After starts and stops through the legislative process, a St. Louis area legislator managed to get a $12 million appropriation into a package of projects largely funded with federal stimulus dollars. But in a surprising development, the entire package went down in flames during what should have been a procedural vote. Democrats, spurred on in part by Governor Jay Nixon's opposition to the legislation, certainly played a pivotal role in the bill's demise. But the package also faced heat from Republicans dismayed by Metro's allocation. House Speaker Pro Tem Brian Pratt went so far to say that the Metro line item might have been the catalyst behind the package's demise. Pratt's criticism highlights the difficulty in sustaining mass transit programs, not just around the state, but locally. State lawmakers don't want to allocate resources that will only have a peripheral benefit to their constituents, and it stands to reason that providing aid to one struggling service will prompt others, such as ones in Columbia, Springfield, and Kansas City, to ask for a similar bailout. The deeper answer to this funding conundrum might not necessarily be an either-or proposition. Local governments could benefit from investing taxpayer funds wisely, realistically, and judiciously. They must also manage a sustainable system that isn't designed to be chronically underfunded. And if taxpayers, local and state, aren't willing to do their part in sustaining mass transit programs, they shouldn't be surprised when service dissipates during lean economic times. I'm Jason Rosenbaum.
That's all the time we have for this week. Thanks for listening. I'm Sarah Whitmire.